When you look at your future, does it fill you with anticipation and excitement or apprehension and anxiety? Well, how you answer that question is likely connected to your relationship with uncertainty. You see, you as a human are designed to want certainty. We want it. We try to create certainty. We certainly crave it. But here's the truth about your future. You don't know. I don't know. And so our relationship with uncertainty, because our future's always filled with it, is so important. What if you could reorientate the way you saw your future so you could have more courage and even anticipation about what's coming next? I want to give you 2 simple steps found in an ancient source that will help you, when applied, will help you have more courage and anticipation for the future. It's found in the older part of the Bible. There's a man named Habakkuk. He's a prophet. And he finds himself in a really tough spot. He's feeling a lot of anxiety. He's feeling a ton of uncertainty about his future. And there's a mixture of anger there because he's feeling like I got no answers. So I think maybe you found yourself there. I certainly have. And here's what he says. When you find yourself in that space, he says this: I will climb up into my watchtower and stand at my guard post. There I will wait to see what God says, and he will answer. The first thing Habakkuk says is to keep waiting. Keep waiting. Now, if you're like me, I'm not a very patient person, that doesn't sound helpful, but it actually is. When you read the rest of that chapter, you realize Habakkuk's saying not just to wait and sit on your hands. He's saying think more like a waitress or a waiter. Stay active, stay busy. You know, a good waiter or waitress isn't sitting around. They're running around serving others. So you can feel like in moments like I have in difficult moments of my life, I just wanted to retreat. I wanted to take my chips off the table. I wanted to avoid people. I wanted to avoid even some of the healthy habits that could help maybe get me unstuck. Instead of that, Habakkuk's encourage you, keep putting one foot in front of the other. Keep doing good things. So maybe you don't want to be around people. Keep finding them. Find yourself in community. Keep doing those healthy habits that'll get you unstuck and over time will be a part of bringing you forward. It's one step at a time. So keep waiting actively. And the second thing he says is keep perspective. Here's how he says it. He says, I'll climb up into my watchtower. Now, we live in modern cities. We live in modern cities, towns, and villages, and that illustration or metaphor can be lost on us. But in ancient times, there were walled cities for protection, and there will always be watchtowers in these walled cities. And you would climb into it to gain perspective. So you could see the weather that would be coming. You could see who was coming. You could even see if an enemy was coming. See, when you're on the ground, you lose perspective. Let's say you're in that walled city and a great army comes against you and you're on the ground. All you do is see the enemies there. You're overwhelmed. You're discouraged. The future looks not only uncertain, it looks foreboding. But when you climb into the watchtower, what if in the distance you saw reinforcements coming? Allies of yours coming. They're 20 times the size of the army that's at your gate. All of a sudden, you would be emboldened. I can hang on. I'll be able to get through this. The Apostle Paul understood this. He wrote in Romans 8 about how to personally kind of climb into the tower. He said this, he said, for I reckon, and that little word in the original language means I add up. I'm adding up, I'm doing the math. I reckon that the present suffering of this present world is not worthy compared to the glory that shall be revealed. What is he saying? He's saying, listen, I'm going through a lot. And if you read about the Apostle Paul, you realize he was sick, he had financial setbacks, persecution, a lot of difficulty in his life. But when he did the math, he added that up to the future glory because he was climbing to the watchtower. He could see what was ahead. And all of a sudden, those kind of present sufferings seem much smaller. For you and I, that can look like, and this is why even climbing into a tower of faith, that there's an element of trust that somebody has you and your future is sure. All of a sudden, the things that we pass through, not only are we able to wait expectantly and actively for God to be at work, we can also gain perspective in these moments. See, you might be tired, you might be weary, you might be very disappointed with what life has dealt out so far, and the future looks uncertain and it fills you with anxiety and apprehension. Listen, I'm going to just encourage you to maybe climb into the tower, to maybe put your trust in Jesus and allow him to help shape your future as you wait for him and you keep perspective.